Okay, so there's no tutorial this week. I know. Blame the glue gun, or the monster mud, or maybe something else creepy around the workshop. But instead of a prop, I thought I'd try something a little different. Something a little darker. You see, late at night, after the tools are silent and the lights flicker just a little too much, this place gets strange. Whispers in the shadows, tools that move on their own, and a certain someone who lives for that kind of thing. So tonight, I'm handing things over to your very own in-house horror host. Grab your flashlight, hold your breath, and welcome to the very first tale in Whispers in the Workshop.
They say every workshop's got its secrets, but this one remembers everything that's ever been built, and everything that shouldn't have been. Welcome back, you brave little boat. Or are you new here? Either way, don't touch anything, unless you want to leave with less fingers than you came in with. This is the workshop, and when the moon is high and the coffin's cursed, the stories start whispering again. See, most folks think horror comes from haunted houses, graveyards, spooky forests. But me, I've seen nightmares made out of plywood and hot glue, foam corpses that blink, dolls that won't stay buried, a life-size animatronic clown that wouldn't shut up or die. Built him myself, unfortunately. Each of these stories came from something built right here, and every one of them has a lesson. Like, don't use expired monster mud, or don't steal a soul just to make papier-mâché sculptures dance. You know, the basics. So, if you're gonna stick around, I hope you brought a flashlight and some common sense, because these stories you're about to hear, they're not made up. They're made. Ever notice how certain projects feel like they're watching you? Like the thing you made out of burlap mud and regret might just stand up when you're not looking. Tonight's tale comes straight from the mix. The kind of cursed brew you can't rinse off with a garden hose. So settle in, little sawdust goblin. This one's called The Witch in the Mud. Brandon Greaves made Halloween props. Not cute ones. Not those big box plastic pumpkins that light up and play songs. His were real. Bones wired by hand. Rotted cloth soaked in monster mud until it curled like real skin. This year, he wanted a centerpiece, a witch, towering, hollow-eyed, mouth open mid-scream, arms out like she was casting her last spell. And she had to be done in 2 days. A local haunt had offered cash. Brandon needed it. He worked nonstop. PVC frame, chicken wire ribs, layers of burlap dipped in monster mud. He used the last bucket, thicker than normal. Smelled strange, almost sweet. He told himself it was just the latex. But the burlap didn't dry. It pulsed. That night, he heard whispering, not from the walls, from the garage. From her. Finish me. He told himself he had imagined it. But the next morning, her head had tilted just slightly, and her hand had shifted just enough to point at the trowel. He worked faster, Every time he stopped, she stared harder, her mouth stretched wider. He sculpted her fingers, she bent. He added teeth, and that night she smiled. That was when he tried to destroy her. He took a sledgehammer to her chest, but the monster mud cracked open like ribs, and inside was burlap wrapped around something wet, something that moved. He ran, locked the garage, called the buyer to cancel the sale, but he was already too late. They found him 3 days later, curled up in the garage corner, staring. The witch was standing in the center, taller now, her arms longer, her face grinning, with his mouth. In her hand was his trowel, and next to her, another frame, half-built, waiting for the next one. Well, I was gonna make a scarecrow this weekend, but maybe I'll just repaint the kitchen instead. Moral of the story, never trust a project that talks back. And if your monster mud starts whispering, get the hose and maybe a priest. Stick around, there's plenty more horror where that came from. But remember, in this workshop, every tool has a tale.
And that's our first Whispers in the Workshop. If you guys enjoyed our little tale, or you just like watching Reggie get dramatic, please comment down below and let me know what you think. We're going to keep experimenting with this type of video in between our big prop builds. So if you guys like some creepy stories, some haunted props, and a little horror comedy chaos, and that's your thing, make sure you follow us down below. Hit that like button, share this with a fellow weirdo, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what crawls out of the workshop next. But until next time, keep building things, stay creative, and don't forget to go wild. I'm Gio from Carvalho Creations, and I'll see you next time.